This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shade 45.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out you.
Sway in the morning, Shade 45. I'm on a new level.
I'm on it.
I'm on a new level.
Got you a new
Just walked in the
shovel.
room. I just wanted to play like a hype song and see how our next guest would react.
Yeah.
Because quietly, man, I don't really think the world really properly acknowledged how great of a dancer this guy has been since he was a child doing the tap dance kid. Or remember, Heather? I told the truth.
He told the truth.
Okay, I was in one key. You were in another key.
I know. I went to the original key.
You went to
I went to the original key.
My bad.
Damn.
I put that on blast right away.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, man. This dude is an icon.
He is.
We've grown up and we watched him grow up, which is always interesting because I'm sure he has people who come up to him all the time that look older than him that says, I watched you growing up as a kid. We watched him on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We watched him Dancing with the Stars. Mm-hmm. We watched him do so many different type of work, so much different type of work in the business of film and TV.
Yeah.
And he still looks the damn same,
Crazy.
Heather B.
Crazy.
I remember the Pepsi commercial he did.
Remember?
With the Michael Jackson. People said he... just wanted to play that.
Oh, this is the long intro.
This is the long intro.
The 12-inch version.
I don't know what happened with that.
That was the long intro. That was the long
great
intro.
plan in theory.
It's instrumental.
Yeah, right.
I was waiting for it to drop. It didn't just never drop.
It never dropped, man. And now, amongst many things that he does, he's the host of America's Funniest Videos, and he's here with us today, the one and only Alfonso Ribeiro.
Nice.
Thank you.
Welcome, bro.
Man,
Thank you, y'all. What's happening?
Man, you know, I'm one of those people that, as a kid, because we're in the same age bracket, as a kid, bracket,
yes,
as
true.
a kid, truly inspired by you.
Thank you, man.
Truly inspired by you, because one of the things about you, you're funny as an actor. Your comedic timing is impeccable. You as a dancer, it's ridiculous. You know, as a host, you're entertaining.
Here's the interesting thing, though.
Yeah.
People think of me as a dancer.
But you're not.
And I'm not.
You're not at that?
I'm not, because I never took lessons. Right? The only lessons I ever took was to do the tap dance kid.
Okay.
So they taught me how to tap dance to do tap dance kid, but everything else has been what I like to call just mimicking other people. Like, show it to me and I can do it by mimicking it, right? So the issue for me always was like Michael Jackson, right? Like, people were like, oh man, you know, the Pepsi kid and all the rest. Well, I do all my Michael Jackson moves backwards.
What do you mean?
What the hell?
Because I use the TV as my mirror.
Oh.
So Michael's doing them in one direction, and I'm doing them what looks like the mirror, which actually makes it the opposite way. So, like, even when I did the Pepsi commercial, and I got on set with Michael Peters, who was Michael Jackson's choreographer and back in the day.
Legendary.
Right? The amazing Michael Peters. He was like, all right, so here, you got to do this move here. And I went, well, no, over here. And he's like, no, I need you to do it, this way. And I was like, oh, that's the opposite leg.
Yeah.
Because I was used to doing it the other way because of TV. And that's the way I've done basically everything in dance. Like, I mimic it. And so what was interesting was when we were doing Dancing with the Stars, I said to Whitney all the time, I would say, listen, don't tell me about the moves. Just show it to me. Like, don't move my body. Just show me what the end result is supposed to look like. I can get there. Because that's how my brain works.
That's how your brain works.
So I part of, like, to me, like, the biggest thing on Dancing with the Stars, the real difference between me and everybody else was I already knew how I learned. So I didn't have to teach. I didn't have to learn how to learn. I had to just teach Whitney how I learned. So she then, changed her style to basically accommodate me with my learning.
Yeah.
So I was just like, look, just stand in front of me and do the moves. And then I was like, oh, okay.
And then you got it.
And then I would get the basics of the move, and then from there, she would work the technique and get me to, do it the proper way. But ultimately, I would just mimic.
Right. You reverse engineer.
Damn, man.
Right. So that's
You've been
that's
a
just
damn
the way I get
fraud
it.
the whole time, man. I've been bragging about this dude the whole time, man. Oh, man.
A dance fraud.
A dance fraud.
Man, and I thought he was a
Man,
dancer.
I thought he was not. So let me ask you when it come, because our Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I remember hearing stories how Will used to memorize everybody's parts, so on and so forth.
Right.
What was your method of memorizing? What is your method of memorizing?
The exact same thing.
Okay.
I have a photographic memory.
Okay.
So I would, back then, I ain't used it in a while, so it's a little rusty.
Yeah.
But I would basically, like, if I was acting with you, right, I would be talking to you, looking at you. Mm-hmm. Well, there'd be a hologram of the script
in your face.
between me and you. Mm-hmm. And I would basically be reading the lines as I was talking to Will. So I'd have the lines in front of me, and then I would, like, turn the page.
Yeah. And you see
And
page
the-
3
and the
on the
page,
bottom.
it would change. And people were like, what page is that on? I'd be like, page 12. They're like, how do you know that? I was like, that is right there in the corner. It's right there. I see it right.
Yeah.
It's page 12.
Yeah.
I know it's spelled because that's the words on the page. I basically took like a snapshot of each page, and that's how I remembered all my lines on the script. I would just simply read them.
I'm tearing up right now because I could relate to that. I might even told you this, Heather.
We
that
talked about
it. Doing news for MTV for so many years, and when we used to do a lot of news, real hard news,
Right.
I used to have to memorize a lot of script. I would write it, look at it, and then go live.
Right.
I didn't trust teleprompter.
Right.
So that's how I could. Then I had the ability to go like this, and then I could regurgitate whatever it was that I read, that
Same
photograph them, and you got it. But the thing about that practice is you gotta exercise that and practice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to. It's a muscle,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's why I said it's been a while, so it's a little rusty.
Yeah, you can't just- yeah.
But still, even today, like for me to remember someone's name, I got to write it down, and then I got to read it, and now I remember it.
Wow.
So like people tell me their name all the time. They're like, "Yo, my name is," and I'll be like, "Yeah." 2 seconds later, I'll be like, "Damn, what's their name?"
You can't get it right.
It won't stick.
Yeah.
I have to read it.
Wow, man. Damn, Alfonso, man, this
Right.
is great, man.
But that to me is like that's the key to a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about, hey, I need to learn how to do this. No, you need to learn how you learn. And then you can simplify how to learn something once you understand the way your brain works. Because people keep like, you go to school and you've got basically your teacher saying you got to study. Well, who teaches you how to study?
Right.
Right? Like, I always thought that was an interesting concept, being a kid in school to be like, you got to go home and study. I was like, well, what do you do? Well, really?
How do you do that? Like, how do you study?
What's
do
your
I
study
sit down
method?
for 10 minutes? Do I come back? Yeah, what?
What is it?
Yeah.
What's your way?
Yeah. So as a parent, do you notice different things in your children? You have to deal with each of them differently?
Absolutely. Each child is different. Now, of course, my little ones, they're just, babies. But like even my daughter, she is repetition. Right, she's got to do it over and over again, and then she gets it.
Like you,
Right? Yeah. Right. But she doesn't have the photographic memory.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So she has to actually just like if she says it over and over and over again, then it sticks.
Right.
Right. So that's her key to learning. Right.
Okay.
So it's just repetition. For me, it's like it wasn't repetition. I
you
could
just
say
wrote it.
I could
That's
say it
right,
100
right.
times, but if I don't have what I like to call connecting the dots, doesn't work. Right? So if there's a name that I can't remember, I go, okay, who is someone with a name close to that? Gotcha. Richard Burton. Got it. His name is Richard. Right? So then I just see that person and I see Richard Burton. Right? Or if they look like a certain person that I know, then I give them that name to connect it. I have to connect those dots.
Yo, how did you memorize my name? Sway, man. How did you?
It's right behind you.
Okay.
It's right there. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
He's
It's right
reading
there.
it.
Photograph
And then
it.
I saw it. I saw your face.
And you
Got it.
attached the name to it.
Got it.
All right.
Alfonso, how does this work when it comes to relationships? Like if you got to remember all of the likes of your lady.
You better choose right. You better not screw up. You learn it by making connections. I just made okay, she doesn't like strawberries. Got it. Don't like strawberries. She likes she likes red roses. She doesn't like these roses. Okay, cool, got it. You just try to write it down somewhere. Write it down somewhere. You make it a visual, and then you don't have to worry about it ever again.
Man, Alfonso Ribeiro is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Say the R, Sway.
We're going to talk about America's funniest home videos up next and everything else he has going on, and open up these phone lines. And 888-742-3345. He has a super fan in the room that he doesn't know about, but we're going to reveal momentarily. Shay 45, Sway in the morning. Let's take him back. Thought we'd play something you might enjoy, Alfonso. I don't know.
I'm going to go with the I don't know.
Little Tom Jones here, man.
What the? You come into something, you're like, what?
Carlton, Alfonso Ribeiro is here with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Carlton ain't never lost his virginity. What you talking about?
Yeah, I know, right?
That was all fake.
Did Carlton ever? Yeah, he did have sex, huh?
Did he?
I don't. Well,
Did he?
how many kids you got?
Well, that was Carlton. You
No,
said Carlton.
no,
You ain't talking about Alfonso.
Alfonso, yeah.
Alfonso, different story.
How old were you when you were? Because being in entertainment, usually people start off early having sex, man.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be putting that out here right now. No, I'm not going there, bruh.
Because the kids.
You a man? Why you asking another man when
I'm curious.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I was on Silver Spoons. How about that?
With Ricky
So
Schroeder,
what on
yeah.
Silver Spoons?
Yep.
Oh shit! He was.
I love it
Schroeder,
when you throw something out there as big as that, and you're like, oh shit! What the?
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm always thinking. Here was my thought process after the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I always thought they tried to make LL like the new Will Smith,
Right?
Because you did not that LL needed to be Will Smith, but to like boost his television career. Because I remember you doing a show
in the house with him. Yeah,
in the house.
Yes.
Right,
And I was like, wow, is that going to work for LL? How is that going to happen? And I watch it, and then of course L went to go do big movies and more television. Right. But I completely, for some reason, forgot about Silver Spoon and all of that. Do your thing, Carlton. Give me some.
Carlton.
Who's Carlton?
Anyway,
Where'd I do that?
Alfonso Ribeiro.
We would DB and I would talk. This is DB, by the way, and we would talk
Play
about.
up. How's it going, bro?
You do a great job as a host too. Like you do. You have to adjust. Like, how do you adjust to each? Because it's different from acting.
Yes.
It's.
But it all is the same in a different way. Like the only difference between hosting and acting is ultimately you're playing a character.
Yeah.
So when you're acting, you're playing that character. You're thinking like the character. Your lines are kind of laid out for you. As a host, your lines are also laid out for you.
Yeah.
The difference is that you're being you. Right, or a version of you. And I always say that there is the on-camera Alfonso, and then there's the dude who sits on the couch with his wife and the kids and the family or with his homies, and that's a different dude, right? And so that character has now been understood by me, right? So I know what my on-camera personality is. It's 99% me, but it's what I like to call the best versions of me.
The best, yeah.
Right.
Without your flaws.
Right.
Yeah.
And we all have them.
We all have them.
But I've learned how to become that guy on camera, and ultimately it's just about being comfortable, right? And I tell this story when we do America's Funniest Home Videos and we actually do it in front of the audience. I tell this story every once in a while, and I feel like it's a great story to help understand what we do, right? But when I was 12, I was doing Tap Dance Kid, and I was asked to do the national anthem at Yankee Stadium, right? And I'm like, okay. I was dating Rhonda Ross, Diana Ross's daughter, right? Yeah. And I'm like, I'm singing the national anthem. Would you like to come with me? I'm about to go do my thing. And she came, and she's up in the box, and it was all cool, right? And we got there a little late, so they were like, oh, by the way, there's a delay at Yankee Stadium. Right, so when you sing, you don't hear it right away. It comes back. So we're gonna give you these earplugs, but because you're late, you can't practice it. So good luck. right? So I go down onto the field, right, and it's like, ladies and gentlemen, to sing the national anthem, Alfonso Ribeiro. And I go, okay. And I, oh, say, can you see? Oh, say, and I hear, and then it hits me, right? And I then hear myself. Freaks me out, right? I hit the pause button and couldn't move forward, right? And I went, okay, all right, what do we do? I'm saying this to myself, and I go, all right, the next line, and the Rockets red glare. So I just skipped.
Oh my gosh!
To end the Rockets red glare, right? And now I do end the Rockets red glare, and then I hear myself, and then I sing the next line, and then I hear myself. So it sounds like, and the Rockets red glare. The bombs bursting in air. So all the way through to the end of the song, right? I'm devastated. Okay? Just like, oh my God, I am going to get just destroyed at school tomorrow, right? So I go into the dugout, right? And Dave Winfield was like my favorite player, right?
Yeah.
And so he goes, kid, come here. And I sit down and I'm crying my eyes out, and he says to me, he goes, listen, you stayed out there. You made it through to the end. It didn't go great, but you finished it. Yeah. And you should be proud of yourself for handling it and finishing it, right? And so I'm devastated. I go home and I go to school the next day. I get tortured at school, right? And, of course, Rhonda's mom is Diana Ross. She ain't never done that, right? So you're like, sucker, It was horrible, right? And then as I got older, I used that as a baseline for me, right? And people ask me all the time, like, why don't you get nervous? And I'm like, I've already experienced the worst thing that could ever happen to me in show business.
Yeah.
It will never be as bad as that moment when I pause in front of 40,000 people, right, in my home state with my favorite team. Everything else is easy.
And look at them now, ladies and gentlemen.
Everything else is easy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever have any issues. And so then now being myself is easy. I just go do. Yeah. I just go and just be relaxed and comfortable and just do. Because there is no wrong.
Yeah.
It'll never be as bad as that. Yeah. So even when I do something stupid, I'm like, that was stupid.
And that's it.
It wasn't Yankee Stadium. You know what I mean? So everything's a positive, and that's how I kind of am able to go into every circumstance and go, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to do what I do, and it'll turn out however it turns out. But if you go in, worried about it, you can't be yourself.
Can't be yourself.
Does it work like that too, Alfonso, in like say maybe a competitive situation on set? Because a lot of times actors can be very competitive and try to steal a scene. Do you bring that mentality with you even in situations like that?
Well, I know how to steal scenes, right? Like I already know how to do it. Yeah. So I also know how to block someone else from doing it. So, I ain't gonna give my secrets. But so I'm never worried about it because I'm like, okay, I got what you're doing. And then I reverse it.
But what's the difference between stealing a scene and just performing your best? Because if the lines are already there, like, what's the person doing that's so extra?
It's about timing, right? Scenes have like there's music to words, right? And that's kind of what we were talking about a little bit earlier, right? There's a rhythm to it, right? There's a rhythm to how it works. And so somebody could take just a little extra pause before a punchline to become a scene stealer, right? So then you have to play off that pause. So when somebody pauses on you long, the way you defend that is you do something during their pause.
Okay.
What the hell?
Such as?
Yeah, a look. Or a
twitch,
move or something that makes the concentration, because if let's say it's in a 2-shot, right? And you're both standing there together and that person takes the pause and then you do something, their eyes went to you. They lost the moment.
You're shrewd. You're kind of you're diabolical. Alfonso, you're evil.
That is a Dwight Howard. Take it to the streets.
I love it. Oh, I'm here for all of it.
Yo, I want to hang out. I want to do press with you today, man.
Right.
I'm hanging out. I told you had a super fan in here, man.
Uh-oh.
Who, if you look around the room, who would you think it is?
She right here.
Yeah, you have the beat.
She right here.
Yeah, there it is. No,
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. She was like she'd forgotten about Silver Spoon.
Oh, yeah, right. BB Alfonso.
It's actually me. I'm the super fan. I just wanted to ask real quick. Will Smith kind of ascended into his movie stardom while he was on Fresh Prince, and I was just wondering, did he ever ask you to be a part of any of the films that he was doing? You know, like whether
no. Just like your hat says. No.
Damn.
But no love lost with that. Like one of the things that I think we as a whole, right? Like what we do wrong as a whole, as a culture, is we expect somebody to do something for us that they don't actually have a right to do or a responsibility to do it, right? Like he has his family. He has his kids. He has his wife. He has his parents, right? Like, why should he do something specifically to support me unless it supports him, right? His thing leaving the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was to make a separation from the show. The last thing he could have done was take someone from the Fresh Prince and bring it to his movies, because then it becomes the Fresh Prince, the movie, right? So he had to separate himself from us. I understand that. If you're a businessman, you get how business works, right? But we all go, yo, he's supposed to take care of me. No, he's not. Yeah. You're supposed to take care of you. Take care of your own business and don't worry about asking somebody else to take care of you. So when people look at, Will Smith not doing anything for the cast of Fresh Prince, I say, well, why should he have? Like, what was his responsibility? His responsibility was to be the best Will Smith on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's what his responsibility was. Yeah. And the moment the show ended, thank you. Dude, you gave us an opportunity. Your star, your light gave us all an ability to perform out with our lights. Thank you for being that light, right? So why are we expecting anything more than that, right? Because we don't want to go out and do the hard work? Hey, go out and do the work. Take responsibility for yourself, your own career, your own stuff. I don't need Will Smith to do that for me. Yeah. If he did it, cool. Right? And Will Smith has helped me in many ways beyond what we have seen on camera. Yeah. Right? And most of that, like I always say, I'm never going to talk about what Will Smith has done for me because that's not the world's business. Right? But he has supported me in ways beyond anybody can understand. But it doesn't have to be publicly. Right? It doesn't have to be out there. It's about your boy. It's about your boy just being there. Like sometimes when you're down, having someone to call and talk to is more important than him saying, hey, man, I'll give you a role in my film. What is that going to do? It means nothing. What really means something is being that friend, being that person, being that individual that you can call on and talk to and get advice from. And Will Smith is a brilliant human being. Yeah. And, some of the advice that he's given me in my life, I've been able to create my own light again. And that, to me, is way more valuable than any role he could have ever given me. Right, and I think that we have to take responsibility for our own things, our own just responsibilities for our own career and our own lives and our own livelihood. We can't expect someone to hand it down to you.
That's right, man.
Beautifully
Get a
said.
round of applause. Yo, I'm voting for you for president, man.
Well, Sway, after that eloquent speech and it was so inspiring, I was wondering if it would be too much for me to ask you to do something for me.
I mean, because
after that speech,
I am a super fan.
We let's see where we go.
Okay.
That's a Will Smith answer.
Wait, hold up. DB
Are you really ready?
Let's see where this rises to.
DB is undressing. Oh, he put a. What is that?
Oh,
what are you doing?
Orlando, I know where you're going with this.
What are you doing?
I already know where you're going.
Issuing the challenge.
You issuing the challenge?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wait, hold up. DB, what was this scene from? The Fresh Prince?
They were trapped in Vegas. They ran out of money to get home.
Yeah. You
So-
go
Come on, dog.
Go do it over there. Go do it over there. So y'all gonna have a
Can
concert.
they hear the music?
Yeah, they're gonna battle. They're doing the Carlton dance, battling.
Is that the Carlton dance?
No, that's right. Move that chair.
It's Apache.
Lord.
Oh, the Temptation.
Look at the faces,
Alfonso's still tight too. It's tight.
Tracy.
You left the house like that.
You got to see how DB. First of all,
He walked that's super fan right there.
That's a super fan.
That's
Super
love
fan.
right there. That's love.
what
That's
is he
love.
dressed up like? What was this scene?
Dude, that's the Kimosabe, Tonto, Apache.
Yeah, and
You know,
I told you
why
it's
we
Apache.
wore that outfit, I cannot tell you or remember, but that's what
that
we
was a
did.
scene from the Fresh Prince of Bel. That was one of the
That's
most popular
wild.
scenes, right? When
Absolutely.
Will and
Yeah.
got into that dance competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
He threw his ass across the room, and he got back on stage.
And you got
Yeah, that
back
wasn't really
on,
me.
You got back on beat. That was great. Yo, thank you, man.
Dude, Sway, love y'all.
After that,
Love y'all.
Love you too,
funniest home
Alfonso.
videos. When can people see it?
Every Sunday night on ABC 7/6 Central. We've got a bunch of really great episodes coming up. Our season finale is coming up in May, and the amazing Tom Bergeron is coming back
Oh, wow.
for our
Is he?
finale this year to
Yeah.
do a little cameo with me. That's just the support and love that he's been giving us. So you got to check it out every Sunday night.
Continued success, brother.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
you're
Continued
excellent.
success,
Thank
man.
you. Love y'all. Love
Absolutely.
y'all.
Love you
Love
too,
you
Mutual
man.
feelings.
We got Master P coming up a little later, and Getting the Game is up next.
There
Sway
you
in the
go.
morning.
It's Sway in the morning. Only
On Shade 45.